On July 4, 1776, the Declaration of Independence was drafted. This text, which is the foundation of our nation's constitution, is imbued with biblical references found throughout the text. Before, many patriots argued that their fight was God-ordained. But what happened after 1776? Well, we'll have to find out. Christianity is the largest religion in the world with over 2 billion members. Most of the members are located in North America and Canada, where the impact of Christianity can be identified in their culture and politics through looking into the ways we practice Christianity and the change of political mindset. But it is now fragmented into tens of thousands of different faith groups around the world, with about 50% identifying themselves as Roman Catholics. Christianity has gone through radical changes since 1776, when the Declaration of Independence was drafted. One fact that could have separated the church and the state was that one of the most influential founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, did not publicly state his religious beliefs. We can clearly see his views when, in the spirit of the Enlightenment, he informed his nephew Peter Card in 1787, "Question with boldness even the existence of a God, because if there be one, he must more approve the homage of reason than that of blindfolded fear." He became a leading role in the campaign to separate politics and religions, which culminated in the Statute of Virginia for religious freedom. Specifically, both culture and social aspects of Christianity have transformed because of the modernization the global community has faced. Over the past 200 years, the culture of Christianity has changed quite significantly because of the focus on the concept of individual expression and the development of technology. For Christians, Sunday, the Lord's Day, is a day that is consecrated for the worship and honor of God in a house of wisdom. Up until the 1800s, there were many restrictions set by the church that the followers needed to follow. For example, women and men had to wear appropriate clothing when they attended church every Sunday. In the early days, it was a quiet and single connection to God with a very strict way of honoring it. Christians had to pray and memorize hymns and Bible verses. Currently, churches have developed new ways to honor God by singing hymns and developing their community. In these communities, they interact and talk about their Christian beliefs and help each other through hardships. There is a relaxed dress code, and the stringent rules of attending church every Sunday have lessened. Another facet that was changed by Christianity was the moral issues such as abortion and homosexuality. These two topics have been controversial and caused many divisions within Christianity. For example, in homosexuality, Leviticus 18:22, it states, "You should not lie with a man as with a woman. It is an abomination." However, these days, pastors and preachers are changing the minds of their communities to accept and welcome them because they want more people to follow Christianity and is readjusting their crowd. This indicates how Christianity changed significantly over the past few years as it adjusts to the American culture. Christianity changed demographically over the 200 plus years. After the First Great Awakening in the 1740s, the main subcategories of Christianity were divided into Catholicism, Orthodoxy, and Protestantism because people began to form their own religions' views of Christianity. These religions were the core divisions within Christianity until the 19th century when the Second Great Awakening occurred. This awakening brought many categories like Mormonism, Jehovah's Witnesses, Adventism, and the Restoration Movement. Before the United States, there were no specific areas where a certain religion was more prevalent. It was a mix of all these sub-religions together. However, as time passed, these separate groups began to spread and form their own communities across the United States. For example, in the Mid-East of the United States, Baptist is a popular religion compared to other subcategories of Christianity, while in the West of the United States, 70% of the Catholic believers reside there. Christianity is divided into many different categories because of the rise of many revolts, such as the Protestant Reformation and the Great Awakening movements. Even though Christianity has changed in the United States throughout the years, there are core values that still exist today. One of these aspects is the strong belief in the Bible. The written Bible has been used for 1,500 years and is still continuing to give guidance to its followers. Another aspect that still exists is the fact that the followers still believe in the existence of God. Even though this idea is interpreted differently among the sub-religions in Christianity, overall, they all believe that God exists. The third aspect is that formal education is an important factor in the Christian belief. Before, there were monasteries that taught and analyzed the Bible. In these areas, students lived in dorms and studied the teachings of the Bible. We can still see the link from the past to the present. Even today, there are Christian private schools that influence students to have a deep connection with God. Over 6,000 Christian private schools ranging from elementary school to college exist within the United States.
Okay, so first, can you just tell me briefly about your school, the name and atmosphere of it?
I go to Northwest Christian High School, and it's not a very big school. There's like 100 people in my class and about 400 in the high school, and it's a really family atmosphere. We all get along, and we stick together, we stick up for each other, and I enjoy going there.
How long have you gone to that school?
My whole life.
Your whole life. So, my third question, is it very diverse or is everyone kind of the same? Like, do you have other kids who are Catholic or kids who are from other countries or some kids who don't have as much money as other kids, or is everyone kind of just the same?
It's not very diverse, but there are kids there's a few Catholic kids, and there are some kids that don't have very much money that the school pays for them to go there.
Like on
I know of some like athlete scholarships
for academics and maybe some for sports.
Yeah.
Role of religion, as in not just your Bible class, but do you talk about God in every class? English and science and history?
Not every day, but we do. Everything is based behind God. Like we learned, like in history, we learned more of how our country was built on a Christian religion, and in science, we learned how to back up that, like, we are not just here from the Big Bang.
Okay. And then what about the role of prayer? Do you pray?
We do pray in Bible class every day, but it just depends on random days. We'll pray in different classes. There's not really an order.
Okay, and then so you go to church service at school once a week? And
yeah, every Wednesday we go for an hour.
And so can you tell me about that?
Normally it's student-led worship, which is like singing, and then we have a speaker. This year, a lot of speakers are just teachers or students. So it's more of a student-led thing.
And did you say that the teachers at this school you think are more involved than teachers at public schools?
Yeah, I would say the kids are really close to the teachers, and they go to them for any questions. And there's always a student like crying. They go to the teachers if something's wrong or anything. So yeah.
Okay, that's good. And then what is something that is your favorite aspect about going to that school versus a public school?
I like how close we are. Like we know everyone's name, and just that how when you pass them in the hallway, you know who they are. It's not like a mystery. And how most of us get along. We grew up together.
Okay, and then what's the one, if you could change something about the school, or if you had a criticism about it, what would that be? Do you think?
Well, there's like little silly things that I would change, but for the most part, I think that they do a good job.
So just some of the stricter rules.
Yeah. Like we have a lot of strict rules that aren't necessary.
No cell phones at all.
Yeah, no cell phones at all. See it, hear it, take it. The dress code's really strict.
Do they still make you tuck in your shirt?
No, not anymore, but they're like weird about logos and how many buttons you have on your shirt. And of course the length, but we'll see. That will probably stay there forever.
These characteristics show that there are certain beliefs that stay intact even though the global community is changing. This is perhaps the reason why many sub-religions under Christianity have similar belief systems. To this day, Christianity has shaped and influenced individuals from all over the world because of its long-standing traditions and strong belief in one God. Christianity has gone through changes since the 1700s and has been continuously altered because of the modernized global community, which has changed from a very conservative and stringent type to an open and democratic style. In the social context, Christianity has transformed its belief system by adapting to the American culture and accepting other moral issues. This happened because America has been the leading country in social, economic, political, and interactional contexts. Many countries have been shaped and influenced by America's decisions and culture. In the interaction context, the demographics of Christianity are quite different from the 1700s to 2000s. Even today, there was much modification to Christianity. There are still core values that this religion maintains. Despite a shift of beliefs in Christianity, it has continued to impact and change people across the globe because it gives them guidance and hope.